Hi everyone, welcome to the part 2 of beginner series to static structural analysis using Creo Simulate. In the previous video, we looked at a simple problem using this bracket here, but this one does not have any connections like welds or bolted joints or any other component that is interfacing with this one. This is just a standalone part which we used for our introductory demonstration. To go to a next level, what we are going to do is we're going to take an assembly that has 3 plates in it. The first one would be this C channel which we are going to apply load on. Then this C channel is getting welded to this doubler plate here, and this doubler plate eventually gets welded onto the mounting plate at the back. So the simple assumption is this backer plate has the mounting plate has 4 holes which are going to arrest in space. So it's going to be arrested in all degrees of freedom and it cannot move. And this middle plate here that acts as a backer plate to weld the C channel onto the mounting plate is going to get sandwiched in between the C channel and the mounting plate, and this is also going to get welded to the mounting plate. And the connections are very important here, and that is going to drive our boundary condition. So to start off, what we are going to do is, before going to simulate, if you go to applications ribbon, there will be an option called welding, the first one. So the type of welding we are going to use is fillet weld. So I'm going to pick fillet weld. First I'm going to weld the C channel onto this doubler plate here. So for that I'm going to use a double-sided weld. So my first surface would be this surface, and for the other side, the second surface would be the inner surface. So I'm going to pick the other side, which is going to be the mating part. I click on side 2, click this surface, and then go to arrow side, click the same surface. So my weld size would be at least the thickness of the plate. So my C channel here is 2 mm thick, so I'm going to choose a thickness of 2 here. So as we see, Creo has generated a weld for us, but this looks like a simple surface weld, but for our analysis we are going to use solid weld. So for that you need to go to options tab and click on this solid circle here. For now we're not going to assume any material. We can do it at the later part of the video. Now I'm going to click OK. Now the second part of the joint would be welding this doubler plate onto the mounting plate. So for that I'm going to make use of the same fillet weld. For now we don't have arrow as the other side. We're just going to pick the single-sided weld and click on the surface. Then for side 2, I'm going to pick this mounting plate here. Since this doubler plate here I have assumed 5 mm thick, I'm going to click on the size dialog box and hit 5 and enter. So here we are also getting the same surface weld, but we have to go for solid weld for analysis. So I've chosen solid weld here. Don't have to assume material right now, can do it in the later part of the video. Click OK, and I am exiting out of the applications tab. So now we have got 2 welds. So one weld between the C channel and the doubler plate, another weld between this doubler plate and the mounting plate. So this is how the weld looks. So in case if you want to take a cross section and look, you can also have that. So when I look at the cross section, this is what it looks like. It's a solid weld and not a surface weld. Moving on. So now we are entering into simulate tab. Going to go to applications tab and then click on simulate. Now we have an assembly here. So first thing we need to do is we need to tell Creo or communicate to the solver that we have connections in between these 3 plates. So first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an interface that defines all these 3 components are free from each other except for the weld portion. So what do I mean by that? If you come to refine model tab, there is an option called interface. You need to click on the interface option. In the drop down of references, I am selecting component to component and making them free. So this component is free from this component except for this weld portion. Clicking OK. Going to create another interface. Same component to component between doubler and the mounting plate. OK. So now if I go to an option called review geometry, it will let me know what are the connection between each plate. So these 3 plates are not connected to themselves right now. So what we are going to do is we are going to create weld features that will connect these plates together. So for that, you need to be in Refine Model tab, go to Weld. So in this drop down, we have several options, of which we are going to choose Weld Feature. Click on Weld Feature. I'm going to click this one. I'm going to override the setting. So the material that I've assigned to this model is steel low carbon. So I have thickness of the weld which I want intended. So and the material is steel low carbon. Going to click OK, and then I go to the same option. You can also use this detect weld features, but the drawback of using this feature is you can only pick one category of weld. For example, if I have 3 fillet welds with 2 mm leg and other fillet welds with 5 mm or different weld sizes, you cannot make them a unified feature. So for that purpose, I'm going to go to the same option, weld feature, to pick this doubler plate weld. Metal thickness is okay, metal steel, low carbon steel. So now if I go to review geometry again and hit on apply, I am getting this weld connection between these places. So just to get an idea of the legends here or the colors, what do they mean? So the blue ones you see here are the weld material, and the pink is the interface that was formed between these plates. So pink in Creo Simulate means that is a bonded connection. So what we are actually doing is we are bonding the actual weld material onto the respective parent material. So that is what it's doing. In case if you want to take a look at the weld alone, you can check off the solid surfaces, or you can check off everything and select just the weld surface and apply. Now you will see just the weld. Now as we have created weld connection, it is time for us to assign materials. To assign materials, as I demonstrated in the previous video, it is better to assume materials at the level you are just going to perform the analysis. In the previous analysis, we assumed material at the part level, but now we are going to assume material at this level where we are going to work at. So I'm exiting out of Simulate tab. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this assembly name and edit materials. So I'm going to pick standard materials, ferrous metals. So here I have something called low carbon steel. So this metal, it is saying it has already been assigned to my model. I just want to override, click OK. Now the metal has been set. I'm going back to Creo Simulate again. So now we can take a look at how the model meshes. So we can check whether weld connections have been formed. Going to go to AutoGEM here on the Refine Model tab and click Create. So AutoGEM has created mesh for us. Since all the components here are assumed to be solid elements, we get this kind of mesh, which is a solid mesh. As you can see, the dialog box says this much amount of nodes and elements were formed, and all of them were tetrahedral elements. I'm going to close out of this. I like this because I can see connections wherever I intended. There is a common node in between my parent material and my weld. You can see these yellow dots represent the common nodes, which mean there is a connection formed in between them. I'm going to close out of this. Now what we are going to do is, first thing, we need to look at our boundary condition. So how am I going to fix this object in space so that I can solve my problem? So part of my problem is, as we assumed initially, this mounting plate is going to act as my fixed support. So I am going to go to Constraints. Within that we have displacement option. If you click on displacement option, we will get a dialog box like this. So here these 4 holes are my area of interest. So I'm going to click on intent so that I can pick all these 4 holes together. It's a nice trick to have. And I'm arresting all these 3 in X, Y, Z direction. Rotational degree of freedom is not needed because 3-dimensional elements don't require rotational degree of freedoms to be arrested. It is enough to arrest X, Y, Z in translation alone. Okay, now that we have our connections ready, now what we're going to do is the important part. So how we are going to load this component, this C channel. I'm going to assume that we are going to hang a mass that is connected to these 2 holes. So you can assume that you have a rope that is tied to a particular mass and it is hung down using these 2 holes on the C channel so that it is exerting a gravitational load in the C channel, which is getting transferred to the rest of the assembly. To do that, what I'm going to do, I'm exiting out of Creo Simulate. I am picking a point that would represent the center of gravity of my mass. So for simplicity, I'm going to prefer this front plane here and create a point. So I get this point option here. I choose my dragger and I choose my reference. So my reference is going to go to front view for better visibility. So my point is here. I'm going to choose a point that is right below my mounting hole here. So not going to care about the dimension because the logic is all that matters. The point can be anywhere in space depending on our geometry. So I created a point here on the front plane right below the holes. So this is going to be assumed as a point that is the center of gravity of the mass. We are going to assume. Go to Simulate again. If I go to Refine Models tab, there is an option to add mass. So since this is a point mass, I'm going to pick this point here and I'm going to add a mass of 50 kilogram. This is in tons by default. You can choose kilogram, click OK. Now, this is the crucial part of the problem. How we are going to link this point mass to these two holes? For that, we have an option in Creo called weighted link. So weighted link is an interesting option. We can use it simply as well as in an advanced fashion. Now I'm going to go for choosing my references. I'm choosing surfaces because these two holes are having cylindrical surfaces. I'm holding control key to select these two, or you can also use this intent to choose these two together. Either way it works. So this is the independent side, and the dependent side would be the point here. So yeah, since the center of gravity of the mass lies at this point, we are calling this the dependent side, and the independent side would be these 2 points here. And I'm arresting all these tx, ty and tz and make sure these boxes are checked. So these are the degrees of freedom. The mass can or the weighted link can respond to whichever direction the load is going to act, the gravitational load. So I'm going to leave this in default. Click OK. So now you can see we have created rigid links. Now our boundary conditions are set. What I'm going to do now is apply loads. For this case, since we are hanging something, I will assume we will have a gravitational impact on that. So I'll go to gravity option on the home tab, and since I'm going to use gravity as a factor, you can directly choose it from the drop down here called grav. Looking at the bottom right corner, I can see X, Y, Z coordinate systems. So I'm going to choose Y coordinate system, and since I'm going vertically down, I'm picking negative Y. So let's assume 2 times the gravity just for exaggeration purpose. So I'm going to click preview. You can see an arrow here that says it is pointing towards the downward direction. Click OK. Now we are ready to launch our analysis. Oh yeah, I missed one part here. The thing is, before you run an analysis, you should make sure that the material assignment is done at simulate level. Although we assume material at the assembly level, it is a good practice to assume materials at this level. So you have to go to components, select this assembly here. My material is steel low carbon. Okay, so material assignment has been set. So all of these can be tracked in the model tree here: loads and constraints, material assignment, idealization, connections. Going to go to analysis and studies, where I can start a simple static structural analysis. So I'm going to call this weld assembly static. My constraint set and load set are enabled. Going to use single pass adaptive. This is the most efficient for this type of problems. Okay, so I'm going to hit this green flag here, or you can also go to start and run it. Green flag. So you want to see the interactive diagnosis. So my analysis has run fairly quickly since this is a fairly simple model. So my run is completed and given me several warning that the yield condition has been exceeded. Okay, so to view the results, I'm going to close out of this diagnostics window. You have to pick the analysis and go to results tab. First I'm going to see displacement as always. just to see if the displacement makes sense based on the load we applied and the boundary condition. I'm going to click on display options, deformed and scaling of 5%, which is a sweet spot. Going to show element edges, animated for 16 frames per second. Okay, yeah, my animation looks beautiful. So this is the actual shape or the deformation plot we are getting based on the boundary condition and the load. So this looks fair to me. Now I'm going to stop this animation, make a copy of this window, go to stress plot on Mises, and then I'm going to uncheck the deformed because I don't like deformed bodies in stress plot. I want to show element edges, don't want to animate it. I'm going to click OK and show. So usually the yield strength of low carbon steel lies in the range between 280 to 300 MPa in a conservative sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the stress window, go to format tab, click on edit so that I can change the legend to 0 to 300 so that I can see whereas my material failed in the fringe plot. Going to click on this blue color here, gray background, same with this one, gray background, so that I get a nice clean contrast. So this is my stress plot here. As you can see, there are several hotspots, but there is very minimal hotspots that have yield failure. So my metal has permanently deformed in this area, which are indicated by these red spots that are around 300 MPa, but these are very small. So this is how you view the stress plot here. And then if you want to look at the continuous tone, you can also do that. For that, you need to go double click on the free space around this body here anywhere on the model and click on continuous tone. So the stresses look average, but this is not the advisable way to look at stresses. Although it looks good on screen, it doesn't indicate the actual outcome of stresses. So please refrain from doing this. I'm going to check this out. So yeah, as always, it is better to look at the P level so you can make sure the solution has converged or not. Click on stresses, copy this, go to quantity, P level, and OK. So our solution has fairly converged at all the nodes here. So yeah, that's a good thing, right? So we have a P level between P2 to 5, which is a good thing. We do not have any red hotspots anywhere on the model. So our solution has converged and we can trust the solution. So this is how you perform a simple static structural analysis on an assembly using weld connection. So in the upcoming videos, we'll see a combination of both weld connection as well as bolted joint. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section and I'll see you in the next video.